Shrinks in the house, guys. Back in the house, yeah. So, yeah, I haven't felt like doing a video. Just a little bit of lack of energy. And it's been really tough because I do work 1 week a month out there, right? And it's just the COVID that hit me, I think it was April 23rd, man. So it's been a full 4 weeks. Like the major symptoms were long over, at least 2 weeks in, but it's really, really strange. I don't know if any of you have had it, but it is definitely long COVID, meaning the energy level is just not quite right. And it's almost like a fog brain. So it's just hard. It's like I can't quite think straight. Like I can't come up with ideas for videos, right? But today one kind of hit me, because I'm aware of so many brands out there in the audio world. And have I tried them? No, but aesthetics to me matter a lot. And I've already done videos on that. They're going to be something that's going to be viewable in my home. So I want them to look to my taste. I want them to look nice, And to me, guys, less is more, meaning I don't want it to stand out. I don't want it to be big and bulky. I've already been down that path, man, the 100-pound amps. And those people out there that got the 500-pound, 700-pound amps, I think they're still early. I think they're still early at it here because what an absolute nightmare if there's a problem. See, I don't know, man. I just don't see the common sense or anything about it. I don't want my hi-fi hobby, to cause me labor, ever. I mean, sure, shipping a box at the post office or whatever, that's, but that too can become a son of a bitch, So for me, I mean, I just want it to be now, after doing this for many 3 decades, more than 3 decades. I've seen hundreds of components. I've had all kinds of topologies, from tube amps, class A amps, solid state amps, class T chip amps, gain clone amps. What do we got? 300B, EL84, KT88, KT120, KT50. My favorite 845, 211 amps. I've had the massive solid state monoblocks. I've had, guys, it's all been here. And guess where I have arrived at after all this time? You all know, man, is the sleek little Bel Canto, man. Right there. This tiny little box here. Right? And I love it. I absolutely love it. And a guy chimed in who's got the ACI 600, one of the greatest pieces of equipment on the planet. And not only just the cutting edge technology and the power rating, it can power anything. It streams, reference level, phono stage reference level, all hogged out of a solid billet of aluminum. And it's that big, guys, 45 pounds, that big, entire system. Right there. So that fella, you know who you are, you chimed in there saying you own it. Well, you should be very proud of yourself, because that's just an absolutely, it would be something that I would shoot for if I needed all that power, right? It's got just a little too much for my needs here. But man, what a beautiful piece of equipment. And I'm telling you, there's some stuff out there, guys, and I don't mind naming the brands, that it's just so hideous. I don't understand how certain people can think that it's good, it looks good, but that's the beauty of human beings. To each their own, and everybody is so different, and that's what makes the world go round. Wadax. I'm sorry if you own it, but guys, I'm sorry, man. Like I said about less is more, well, that just looks like it's the most blingy, look at me type of equipment I've ever seen. And it just seems now there's more and more of this stuff coming to market that's saying, look at me, look how beautiful I am. Oh my God, man. I just think that Wadax stuff is it's hideous. It's hideous. it's built well, obviously, but man, there's such thing as overkill. You know, there really is. I mean, I just think that whoever's behind the design or making the drawings of the Bel Canto equipment, they just hit the nail on the head, man. Especially in the future moving forward here. Everybody is going to end up at a certain age with the simplest system they could possibly ever dream of having, man, because they don't want the hassle. They don't want to have to sell all this big, bulky equipment or lose a whole bunch of money on it in the end. There comes a time to cash out, and that's when the stocks are up on that gear. It tells you when it's time, like it was time for me to let go of the Line Magnetic. It never caused me one issue in 7 years, nor even a tube change, and I'm not a guy that plays music for hours, so it was very lightly used, and the new owner absolutely loves it. It was an 80-pound amplifier that I just wasn't into spending money on, even buying 2 more 845 tubes. It was time for it to move on, man. The Bel Canto's here for the long haul. I'm telling you, wow, it's such a huge change. If you let it go, you got to start all over again. You either start building separates or you go to another all-in-one device, but no one can do it like Bel Canto. I want to hear anyone that can say there's a company that can put a reference phono stage, low output moving coil, streaming at like high-end streamer level, beautiful tonality in the amplification section, beautiful aesthetics. Yeah, it's expensive equipment, but you get what you pay for in this life. You just do. But yeah, like I say, and there's also some brands that are so much money to buy, and you can't get doo-doo on the used market. Stay away from them, guys. One of the worst is Niagara. It just is, man. And the reason I know that is not because of what gets said online. It's because of what I see it on the marketplace, and I look at the retail. Sorry, just going to be back in a sec. See it on the listings, I see it sit at a third of the price, and it just doesn't go. So any gear that's in the multi-thousands of dollars is always going to have a little bit of a lower resale, but then there's some that just you can't even give it. You can't. It's a mistake. It's an absolute mistake. And guys, you don't need to make it. You know. Just we got to take our time with our purchases, especially you guys that are well-to-do, that got, multiple thousands of disposable income. And don't believe what you see online. You don't know that these people actually can afford to keep what they're displaying to you on YouTube. You don't know that. I can go out and have $100,000 speakers here to display to y'all. No problem. I got the credit to go get it. You just can't believe that someone owns everything they're displaying. But I always knew when I started a channel, I wanted to show people that I live my own size, that everything I have is outright owned with disposable income, hobby money, basically, right? I don't want people to get into arrears because there's enough stress trying to find the right components for yourself, the right flavor, than to add arrears to the equation. You just don't need to do it. So yeah, the video is a little bit about just how hideous some of the equipment is out there and how expensive it is and how you can set yourself up for disaster, man. There's a lot of brands that are just real tough sells, man. Even Bel Canto's not the easy. The resale's not great, but that's okay. Certain components though, like the E1X, at least it can get half retail, if not more. That's a good amount to get when you're up at the $10,000 and $15,000 range. It's a decent amount to get back, but man, some companies can't even get a third, and some certain components can't even get a third. So we have to be very careful. And I'll go into the Canuck Audio Mart. I mean, it's a real life changer for any audio hobbyist. Not only for the knowledge that you can gain from it, but the people you will meet. Like I've gained at least 4 really, really good friends now. They've become very, very close friends of mine. They're all older than me. I mean, 165, he's retired. He's really got impeccable taste. some of the brands of the stuff that he's got, some people won't even have heard of it yet. When they come onto the used market, they're sold in a day. Those are those boutique brands that have like a cult following that only the deep audiophiles with the most knowledge know about, and has nothing to do with price. These are somewhat affordable components that just play music like no other. So all you guys out there that, you know, you got your ego amps, that's what I call them, the big massive power amps that you can't even move and they're just going to possibly need servicing down the road. Or say you got to sell them, you got to use a dolly to the thing, then you got to worry about the shipping that it gets there, you got to pay hundreds to ship. Go for it, man. I send people to the Bel Canto. You want the madness to end? Get yourself a Bel Canto E1X, just the entry into the flagship line, and see how that does for you. Because, man, you may be very surprised. Very, very surprised. But yeah, and then there's that, I don't know, there are those huge horns. These massive wooden horns. You guys know the company. He does videos there. I just don't think they look nice. They're too huge. They're just massive. Like, I mean, and you know, regardless of someone's income, stress is stress. It's the same for everybody. If you make a mistake after spending thousands, it's not the right sound. You bring these massive components in, you sit down, you cross your fingers, you're hoping for the best, and it's a fail. And you know it right away, man. What an awful. Learning the hard way, I guess it's one way to learn. But I don't want to do that anymore. That's why when I found the Spatials and they came in here 7 years ago, that's why they remain, man. They do everything I want in this room. I don't need better. I don't need more expensive. I've seen where that can go. I've seen that it's not always, a lot of the time it's going to be worse. It's going to be a sound that you don't really like. Like I brought in the Bel Canto Black, which is double the price of this. It was 24 grand. Again, everything has to move up with that. You can't run $7,000 speakers, you know, with a $25,000 amp. You can, but you're not going to be getting the best out of it. It had a little bit too much detail. It was a more forward presentation than the E1X. And that's why I didn't go for it. I really like the more laid back character of the E1X. So, anyways, I mean, hopefully all the components you own brings you some kind of pride of ownership. You know, like it feels like an investment, like you made the right choice, like it's something that when you're ready to change, if you're going to downsize, which I tell a lot of people to do that have too much, they just got too much, just cash out and simplify. You know, hopefully you get down to a place that you have this simple system that you have a lot of pride with it, right? But anyway, Shrink loves you. Like and subscribe. Thanks for all the support that you guys give. Sorry I didn't do a few more videos this week, but you know, it was 6 days since I did the last one. I just do the best I can, right? So thanks so much, guys. Until the next one.